Hey, what's going on guys? It's Paper here with another Marvel Snap deck video for you. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing the deck that I use to hit Infinite this season. This is a deck that was built purely out of necessity to counter the current meta. There are multiple ways that we counter Professor X in this meta, as well as the Angela, Kitty, Thena decks that are showing up as well. Both of those kind of synergies are in the same deck in a lot of the cases, but anyways, this deck is really strong against that kind of core, and the main reason is Supergiant. The deck was built kind of around Supergiant as a way to disrupt our opponent's turn 5 play. Supergiant is good against not only Professor X, it has really good stats against Hela in my experience. It's very good at disrupting any sort of turn 5 combo. Sarah is an unplayable card against Supergiant. There's a lot of things that Supergiant kind of just stops in its tracks. Not to mention Destroy being kind of left in an awkward situation once Supergiant's on the board. Your opponent's going to want to destroy their Deadpool again. They can't because Supergiant's on the board. Whatever card they play gets stuck there until the end of the game. It's a lot of different random things that really helps this deck shine in very different situations. So we have Daredevil in this deck as a way to create a mismatch during the Supergiant turn. So Daredevil lets us see our opponent's play. They cannot see our play. We have multiple cards in this deck that can use that information to react, such as Shadow King, Alioth, and Cannonball. This deck is just extremely strong, and it felt very disruptive and powerful. The junk cards that we're running in this deck right now are mostly to counter Professor X from being played in a certain location, but also they are a way that we can get some power against Hela, where there's going to be now cards in certain locations where the Hela potentially can't win a location at all because the location is blocked by maybe Widow's Kiss, Green Goblin, and maybe their Blade or their Corvus. There's a lot of ways that this deck kind of disrupts a lot of things in the meta currently. Alioth also stops Hela in certain situations. So there's a lot of things that we have going for us in this deck. Claw is extremely surprising to a lot of people. It also helps us if they do get maybe a turn 4 Professor X on the board. Claw is going to help us get 8 power into that location if they're in the middle or on the right location. So Cannonball is also in this deck. He's not as disruptive as he usually is because of stopping Professor X with the rest of the cards in our deck, but he's a really strong card to be played on the Supergiant turn when we know there's going to be a card that we want to just remove from that location. It's really, really good. The Red Hulk and Alioth and Cannonball actually aren't super necessary for this deck to work. So if you don't have those cards, you can replace those cards with counter cards like Enchantress or Shang-Chi. You can run no 6 costs at all. I know a lot of people run the Supergiant decks without any 6 costs at all, and they play for more of a priority game plan. Maybe in that case you take out Shadow King as well, but I think Shadow King is extremely strong. Cosmo's a good card in this deck as well. When we know what our opponent's playing, let's say we have a Supergiant on the board and we see our opponent setting up some sort of big on-reveal turn that they're playing under the Supergiant with our Daredevil. We can see that, just play a Cosmo there, completely nullify that lane, and it's just really strong. We know who has priority at turn 4. After turn 4, when the turn 5 play is happening with Supergiant, we know who will have priority for the rest of the game, so you can plan accordingly with all of the different options that are in this deck. And this deck's honestly a little bit difficult to play at first, but once you get the hang of it and you start playing it more, you start to realize that there's a lot of different play patterns with this deck. It's not the typical slam your entire hand Hela deck or play Professor X and just Cannonball, steamroll the game kind of deck. It has a little bit more planning that you have to do in order to succeed with this deck, but Supergiant is a star in this current meta in my opinion. And actually Negasonic is also a star that's kind of slept on right now. It's a card that not a lot of people have really played with too much, but when we know that we can get priority pretty easily with some of the cards in this deck, she becomes a powerhouse. Also knowing that our opponent has a face down card that Negasonic can always kill after Supergiant, it's just really, really strong. And our opponents are never expecting it. Nobody's ever playing around it. And it's just really good. You get a lot of actually boomer snaps with this deck, where you snap on turn 6 with priority and your opponent thinks that you can't react to stuff, when in reality you can just play a Negasonic and actually stop their plays entirely. So it's just a really strong deck. It's really disruptive, and in the current meta, I think it's what we really need to shine before the Professor X and Hela eventual hopeful nerfs. So if you play this deck, let me know in the comments below. You can see all of my gameplay live at twitch.tv/paper with 2 R's, where I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. Consider subscribing below. And as always, good luck snapping. Okay, we're gonna White Widow left and just get... No, we want copies of Goblin instead of White Widow. So let's just do this way. Snapping. I don't know about that. Ravona, okay. No Ravona on that. Okay. So we'll play Green Goblin. If we just play on the right, we just win that, right? Let's do this. But if we Daredevil, we get the info with Supergiant. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Daredevil here, then Supergiant. Well, we'll get to see what they play on turn 5. That'll be face down for the rest of the game. That's okay. That's okay. How's Snap treating you? It's going better now that I switched to a deck that can play against these Angela Ravona decks a little bit better. I'm probably getting Professor X on the right now. Angela, Hope, okay. That's fine. Supergiant. So we don't have priority, which is fine because we have Cannonball. So we can see what they're gonna play. Supergiant, if you're unfamiliar, all the cards played next turn, which is this turn now, don't reveal until the end of the game. So if they have any on reveals or any combo pieces they want to play right now, they're just not going to get them. Like, they wanted to play into Hope Summers to get extra energy this turn or next turn, but if they play into it, then it's not going to give them energy because it doesn't flip this turn. So they're going to play a card. We have Daredevil, who gets to see my opponent's play on turn 5 before I make my own. So I get to see what they're going to play on turn 5. They don't get to see what I play on turn 5, and I get to use that information to basically win the game. We're most likely just going to play Cannonball, but we can play Claw as well because he's pretty sneaky with +8 power. This guy's really not sure what to do right now. I'm just hoping to top deck Shadow King, I think, on the last turn. Cannonball. Okay. So with a Cannonball there, that means he's going to move my monster to a different location. Which I'm kind of fine with. I can just win the other locations. I can control where that monster is going to go to win me the game, actually. So let's just play Cannonball here. We can't do a ton here, but we want to draw Shadow King. Negasonic doesn't help us at all. Now this becomes more of a 50-50. We can either play Red Hulk for a bunch of power middle and hope monster goes to the left, or we can play Claw, give 8 power middle, so that puts us technically ahead by 3, and then hope that the monster moves maybe to the middle, because I think they're going to have a lot of power there. We'll have 12 power on the left. He's probably filling up all these locations, so Cannonball's going to kill. Can I use this deck without Supergiant? Yeah, probably. You might have to change a couple other things. Like Claw might not be that good in this deck without Supergiant. Alioth might not be that good in this deck without Supergiant as well, because I mean, technically I could just play this Alioth here and it cancels out his Cannonball, but then he has 25 power and we have 20. Maybe it was I think it's just Claw here. It's a rough decision. We'll see. He fills up the board. Green Goblin, that's not good for me. But it means he has less power here, and we played Cannonball in the right location. White Widow, actually no, we're fine. We win. right? Because he cannonballs. Yeah. He's gonna cannonball the monster over into the middle. Nice. And we kill his Angela and we win the location. Let's go. Ugh. There's so much information that we gain from this Daredevil Supergiant combo. I'm so glad that I didn't play the Green Goblin, because like this won us the game. So you have to be careful with that. Doc Ock. So he's got the Zemo icon and he's playing the Zemo deck. Keep my Nebula in the deck, please. I just don't want to draw my Nebula right now. We'll play the Goblin, just like it's fine. White Widow, it's good for me because I don't really want to draw and play that for 2 energy at this point, so I'll just give him the Widow's Kiss and she can die. Everything in my deck right now dies to Gladiator, so it is what it is. He can't Doc Ock us now. Truthfully, if he did Doc Ock us, that'd be good for us. So we get to see what his turn 5 play is, and we can determine what we want to do with that. We'll always know what it is because we get to see it on this turn. He has not done a very good job of milling me at all. I have all of my good cards in my hand right now. We're probably going to play Claw here, but we might play Cannonball because he's just a strong card. I don't think this deck's running Alioth, so we don't have to really worry. Zemo left, Cable right. The Zemo's never pulling anything because we're drawing the rest of our deck. Yeah, so I don't really know. This is a 7. I'll have 6 there. Just snap on this. I think it's good. He's going to play Doc Ock right now, and he's really going to regret it. Unless he plays it on the right. You got my Alioth, by the way. Bro, what is this deck, man? And how are you staying on this game? I snapped after I saw what your turn 5 play was. I don't care if I don't have an effect on this left lane. Okay. No problem. That's like a super solid game for this deck. It's against an off-meta deck, but it's a good showing for the flexibility of this deck. Having Daredevil and Supergiants is super strong. Copy their opening hand. Nebula, White Widow, Jeff. It's a pretty solid opening hand. Okay, it's just a clog card now. I wonder if he contests me on the left. Because if he doesn't contest me on the left, I might just play Goblin left. He does contest me on the left. We could get Cosmo on the right. I don't think he's going to beat 11 power right. But we could definitely get Cosmoed. If he doesn't play anything on the left, it's crazy. Okay. Fine with that. What is this, a 2? We still win even if Shadow King went off, but yeah, this is the kind of home I can see Cannonball sliding into if Professor X gets nerfed. And then I really didn't play many Monster Hunters until Monster Hunter World came out, and I bought it on release day and just played that shit for so long. Like, I love Monster Hunter World. And then Rise, I played a lot as well. I didn't play Rise as much as World, but I did everything up until a certain point. I can Green Goblin, and then they'll be like, oh, thanks to Green Goblin, and I'll just Shadow King it. Weapon of choice? Ah, man, it's hard. So in World, I played Insect Glaive pretty much primarily. I didn't really venture off into many different things. But when World came out on PC, I actually played a lot of bowgun, or not bowgun, just bow. But in Rise, I played bow, switch axe, hunting horn. The thing about bow is that it's hard to progress through the game with bow, but it's really good late game. So you have to be like leveled up and stuff. Oh, is this negative? Yeah, switch axe is sick. I really like switch axe. So we're gonna gain prio from this play. We'll get to see. Well, we don't get to see what he plays, but this better not be a negative deck. Could be. He has a tribunal avatar. Attack on Titan weapon. What, the switch axe or the... Oh, the Insect Glaive. Yeah. Insect Glaive is cool. I never got into it in Rise. I heard it wasn't that great, so I didn't get into it. So this is negative. Huh. Negative with Jeff? Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe you're right. If we do this, is that good? We can do this. This is 13 in the middle. It's pretty solid. Oh, is this full-on tribunal crap? Did I just screw up by not playing Alioth? Oh? Surfer? Nice. Oh, we're so smart. Green Goblin, so good.